Hey, what's going on YouTube? So real quick, my name is Adam. If you haven't seen my channels, I do a lot of information about coming up to Alaska or leaving Alaska, going back to the lower 48, basically going through Canada and the Communist Party of Canada through all these crazy COVID lockdowns. It's getting a lot better, but basically anytime I'm decided I'm going to do one update a month, and I also decided if there's any breaking news, I've been doing videos on that. So please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I try to keep everybody up to date. My email address is bigSkyBlessing@gmail.com. A lot of people have been reaching out to me by email, which is great. That way we can talk. Real quick, there's two things. Number one, the owl can is completely closed. It's washed out, and I'm going to show you a picture of that, and we'll go over that in a minute. Number two, I get a lot of questions about can I bring a pet to through Canada to Alaska. And there's a new update on that as of Friday, and I don't know if you've heard it because they're not broadcasting it much, but going forward, I think it's effective. Let's see, today is the 4th. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day, everybody. So I think if I remember right, it's July the 6th. It's going to go into effect. In order for your dog to come through Canada, it must have received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. I don't know if you heard about that. I saw it on Fox. I saw it in a couple of places, but it hadn't made national news. I thought that was odd because not many dogs are having to be vaccinated for COVID. So I'll show you this news clip real quick. You get to hear the Prime Minister of Canada talking about the mandatory dog vaccination going forward, and you'll see that right now.
But you did mention, wondering when unvaccinated tourists can start coming to Canada. I can tell you right now, that's not going to happen for quite a while. We need to continue to ensure that the safety of Canadians, of all the sacrifices that so many people have made over the past many, many months, are not for nothing.
All right. In Spanish, my wife calls me a chistoso. That means somebody that jokes around quite a bit. She calls me a chismoso too. That's somebody that's nosy in everybody's business, right, Christina?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I'm joking with you. Dogs don't have to have the COVID vaccine. We will go over that in just a minute. First of all, we're shooting this video close to our house. This valley here is the valley we live in. That is Palmer down there in the Matsu Valley. That's where we live, and it's such a beautiful place. We're on top of what they call Hatcher Pass today. It's just an amazing place. We don't come up here near like as many times as we should. Christina, you want to kind of show them the area real quick of where we're, this beautiful place?
Sí, patrón, como usted guste.
Sí, patrón. Tú eres mi patrona. Listen to the birds. It's just amazing.
Everything is amazing in Alaska. Right behind that is a beautiful mountain. And this is the other side. You're surrounded with mountain.
So I had a couple questions. Picked several of them out and put them to read out loud and answer them one by one. That way, because I feel like whenever I do this, I have a lot of people normally write me and thank me, oh, I had the exact same question. So I love getting these emails. I love getting these questions. And everybody says I write novels, and I know I talk entirely too much. So instead of writing you an entire novel answering your question, I'll just do a video, because Christina tell you I write a pretty big novel, right?
Yes.
So real quick, the big question I've been getting a lot of before I even get started is, can I come unvaccinated through Canada to visit Alaska? And the answer to that is no, not driving. They're not allowing tourism. So what you must do is you must be vaccinated or fly or take the boat, take the ferry. That's pretty well your only options, unfortunately. They will not allow tourism. You still, in order to drive through Canada unvaccinated, you still have to have you still have to prove you're moving to Alaska or prove that you're residing in Alaska. So that is the only way. I just saw her just 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to keep staying on top of this. Just 2 weeks ago, they did cancel the mandate for the Canadians to be vaccinated to travel. So that's good. I feel like things are getting in the right direction in the whole world. My mom's German. I guess I'm half German. My wife's more hard-headed than most Germans. I'm just kidding.
Thank you, mi amor. I love you.
So Germany just opened up to unvaccinated travelers. I'm seeing a lot of places. Spain, I saw where they're starting to let unvaccinated travelers in. All this has just started developing in the last week or so. So I think we're going to see a lot of this craziness go away. So in saying that, I feel like eventually it will, so stay tuned. The minute I get that information, I will update everybody on that. So real quick, let's read some questions and go over them real quick. I received an email last night from a lady named Becky who lives in Sedaltna, which is a beautiful place. Matter of fact, let me show you a picture of my campsite in Sedaltna 2 weeks ago. Look, check this out. That's a shot of my motorcycle on my ride over to Sedaltna. What a beautiful place. I rented a yurt right literally in downtown Sedaltna, and it was just beautiful. I had a cool campfire, tons of good restaurants. I had a nice dinner. I just love Sedaltna. It's a beautiful place. As you can see, I jumped on my motorcycle. I went to Kenis, Sedaltna. I camped in Sedaltna in a little yurt, had a campfire around this little campfire. It's just an amazing place, very peaceful, beautiful. She's moving to the state of Missouri. I would be so sad leaving Sedaltna for Missouri, but it's for family reasons, so we all understand that. Let me read her email. It says, "Hello, Adam. First of all, thank you so much for your YouTube videos about Canada. My husband and I will be moving from Sedaltna, Alaska to Missouri. I've been watching your videos and feel somewhat prepared for our journey through Canada. However, we are renters, not homeowners, though I guess we'd need to get proof that we left our rental. As far as our arrival to Missouri, we have a place being fixed up for us, and I'm sure the ladies I have been in contact with could provide proof we'll be moving into her rental property. Same landlord as my son. She says she's received 2 of the vaccines, but her husband will not get vaccinated, and she knows about the Arrive Canada app, which is great. I have the app ready on my phone. It's only a 9-hour drive, I believe, to Beaver Creek, Yukon border, which I agree with. That's probably about right. So I guess he gets his COVID test. He could get his COVID test there in Sedaltna, Kenai area, and make it. And yeah, the rule was 72 hours on that. So having a COVID test, if you're unvaccinated, you wouldn't even have to have the COVID test. He would. Also, I was told to make sure all 3. She said my husband does not want to haul a gas can because of our 2 dogs and a cat who will be with us. Should I make him reconsider? I would say yes, and because of the new development that we're going to go over after we read these emails, before I get off topic here, is the road was just shut down, and I don't see it opening it up for the rest of the summer. Maybe I'm wrong, but they're going to have to do some. I'm going to show you pictures of it. It is horrific. So I would definitely say yes. You're going to have to go down the Caesar Highway, which is something we're going to cover here in a few minutes. But yeah, I would say for sure I would carry extra gas, because that's a very remote place. I had a friend that had an RV, and he said if he didn't have extra gas, he wouldn't have made it. So I've heard from a couple people say that. So yeah, I wouldn't do that trip without extra gas. That's just me. I don't know what kind of vehicle you have. On my Subarus, I just literally strapped gas cans to the roof. Something else I did, I don't recommend this, when I was buying and selling vehicles, I had some Expeditions, and one of them I didn't have a way to, I had the whole roof tied up with other stuff. So what I did is I went to Walmart and bought the $7 water, like what you would have. This is totally not what I recommend. It's not safe, but I bought the water, little water jugs, like 5-gallon water jugs, and I literally just took a Walmart bag, put on top, and then screwed the lid on top, and I didn't have any fumes, any smell whatsoever, and it worked great. So that's definitely not the fireproof way to go. So yes, I would take extra gas. Let's get back to the rest of her email here real quick. Also, I was told to make sure about having says they're taking their pets. We were originally going to take a ferry from Whittier to Bellingham, but due to the expense, we decided to go ahead and drive through Canada. It is super expensive. And then she said she also mentions about bringing the animals up. So that's a question I get a lot of. Can she bring all her animals up? And the answer is yes. I've never heard of them checking their vaccination paperwork for the animals. I was joking about the COVID vaccine. But however, yes, as long as they have technically they have to have all be up to their rabies shots and this, that, and the other. I've never heard of them even getting checked. But yeah, as long as you have that, you'd be fine. Says she's not going to have Canadian money. Is it really necessary? No, not necessarily. I'm weird. I don't even go around here without cash in my pocket. So I guess it's how you feel being cashless. It says, can you use a U.S. debit card or credit card? I don't recommend using a debit card, because more than likely you're going to get foreign transaction fees. That's just because I'm cheap. I don't like paying those fees. If you have like a Capital One credit card or a Delta American Express or the Alaska credit card, most Alaskans have for the Alaska Airlines credit card. If you have one of those cards, they don't have foreign transaction fees, so just check with your credit card company. You want to use a credit card that does not have a foreign transaction fee, and absolutely everywhere accepts credit card, just like in the U.S. So technically, I've went through there and not used any of my cash. I'm such a little just in case kind of guy, so That's why I carry extra gas. So anyway, I hope that answered your question. And it says that we should be moving. She just said that it's a very bad time to be moving, and said she's leaving for family because she's a new grandmother. Congratulations on that. That's really awesome. And that she's moving to Missouri to be with family. They decided, despite Canada being communist, and they're going to just make the drive, which is awesome. So to answer all her questions, going to Beaver Creek, that's the strictest crossing that you could possibly go through. Make sure, yes, I would show that you send an email to your landlord and say, hey, we're going to be moving out this date, and have proof of that email. Christine and I were renters when we came up here, when we left Montana, and we were renters when we got here. We still are renters, so we both work in the airline industry, so we don't know where we'll live next year, much less next week. I mean, much less 5 years from now, so we haven't bought a house. That's totally fine. I would have some type of proof of where you're moving to. Just have the landlord write you a letter of some sort. I would have that. Bringing the pets through is not a problem at all. Like I said, I've never had any of my viewers ever been denied because of a pet. I would make sure you have the rabies paperwork, this, that, and the other. And let's talk about your routing. Let's go into that next, and then I've got one more message. It's a lot more brief that I'll read. Let's talk about your routing. You are going to have to go south through the Caesar Highway. So when you get to before you get to Watson Lake, you're going to have to make a right. So for you guys, especially if you're not hauling gas, you'll want to drive all the way into Watson Lake and get gas, because once you pass Tesla, there is nowhere else. But you're going to have to make a right and take they call it the Caesar or the Cassier. I'm probably saying this totally wrong. I still have a hillbilly accent from Georgia. And you're going to have to go down that way. You're not going to be able to take the Alcan. So any advice I've ever given in any video is totally out the window. So I'll show you a picture right now of what that highway looks like. This was on Facebook this morning. This is a bridge right after Leard Hot Springs, which is close to that Northern Rockies Lodge. It's in between Northern Rockies Lodge and Watson Lake. On the British Columbia side, as you can see, it's completely washed out. They do not predict for it to be back open anytime soon. I've got a good friend that sent me a link to all the Facebook pages that have the Alcan information. It's just simply I'll put that link in the description. It's really good on Facebook. You just look up Alcan Highway or driving the Alcan. She sent me that today. Also, I have another viewer that reached out and has said, hey, we're going to go up that Caesar way. I'll keep you updated. So anyway, she's going to keep me updated on their route, where her and her family stay. They're bringing camping gear because they don't know what to expect. So hopefully we'll have some good, hey, here's a good place to stay, here's a good night stops once they get up here in the next 12 days or whatever. They're moving up from Oklahoma. So I will update on that once I hear back from her in the next 15-ish days or whatever, and let you know how that goes. So I hope that answers all your questions. You have my email address. If it didn't, feel free to email me, and I'll be glad to help any way I can, Becky. And God bless you and your trip. I can't imagine leaving this beautiful place of Sedalton, or this beautiful place here, to go back to Missouri. But I'm from the South, and I don't miss being in the South, and that's just that. I'd be so sad. So family's more important. Not to me. I'm definitely a reptile, I think, but to normal people, right, Christina?
Yes.
Someone else said, Kaylin had a comment on my last YouTube video. It says, thinking of buying a summer home in North Pole, Alaska. We're not vaccinated. Will they let us through anywhere in Canada if it's not our primary residence and we are unvaxxed? So the short answer to that is no. I was in law enforcement many years. I try to do things the right way, but my wife says I would have made an incredible con artist. So I'll give you my con artist brain way of thinking. What I would do if I were you, number one, the tags. I don't know where you're moving from, but man, we are so blessed in this state with our vehicle registrations being extremely low. No matter if you buy a $400,000 car or a $5,000 car, it's pretty well $180 for 2 years. So our car registration is really, really low. I would legally make the move up to here for my summer home, and I would register my vehicles up here. I'd get my driver's license up here, and then that way, any other time you want to drive back, you're going home to Alaska, or anytime you fly, whatever. So the short answer is no, but I would make it look like I'm legally moving up to North Pole, Alaska, and if you did that, it would work perfect. So that's my advice to you. That's what I would do. I have no problem cheating the government whatsoever. So, especially the crazy communist type way of thinking government. So that's my advice for that. So I guess our most important thing to talk about today is this. The highway was closed, as I said a couple of times already in the video. As the picture I showed, the highway was completely closed. The whole bridge washed out right between, you hear me talking about Northern Rockies Lodge. It's my favorite place to stay. So if you left Northern Rockies Lodge, you wouldn't get but about, I don't know, an hour down the road. And there's a place called Liard Hot Springs. And that river there is where that bridge was massive. It was like a huge metal gated bridge. I actually have a video on that. And I will actually post that video right now and show you the bridge that washed out. Watch this. Crossing the bridge here in, I never can say it right, Liard, looks like the word lizard. It's a beautiful place. There's a hot springs here. I've never been to it. I'd love to come down here and just actually have a little time with my wife and I. It's pretty cool. This is just a beautiful area out through here. I'd love to spend some time down here. There's a black bear killed a bunch of people over here at the hot springs. A few years ago we watched a show and that was kind of cool to watch, but not cool that the black bear killed a bunch of people. But anyway, just another beautiful area. I could literally roll this camera the whole way. It's just, once you leave Fort Nelson's when it really gets pretty. The whole trip's pretty, but this is my favorite. I love the Rockies. So as you can see, it was a massive, beautiful bridge that's completely gone now. So that's going to take a lot of time to get that up. There's no time soon that bridge is going to be through there. So your only option is to go up through Washington. So that being said, I've always said the best border crossing is Couts or Coots, Alberta. The Washington ones are super strict, super strict. So in saying that, you definitely want to make sure you're proven beyond a shadow of a doubt you're moving to the state of Alaska. You've done away with your place in the lower 48 and you are moving there 100%. Have letters from your new employer if you have it. Have anything you can have. I still say the best way, which I know airfare is insane right now, but if you can fly to Alaska and get everything legally established here, get that Alaska driver's license, it'll make life so much easier for you coming back through because you're going home to Alaska. Which would be the truth. So I recommend that. So your only way is to go up that Caesar Highway. The minute I don't have any information on that highway. I hear it's absolutely beautiful, but it's really, really rural. So I do recommend carrying gas. So please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I will have an update in about 15 days, I hope. I'm staying in contact with a family from Oklahoma, like I said, that's coming right through there, and they're going to tell me. So I will update you. And any other information I get, I'll update you on that. I hope that's answered everyone else's questions. If it hasn't, please email me, bigskyblessing@gmail.com. Things are getting a lot better. Things are looking a lot more positive. So for you, I got several people out there that watch my videos that are wanting to come here and drive up to this beautiful place for vacation, that are unvaccinated, which I don't blame you, I'm unvaccinated as well. I could see that being something that comes to true soon. Things are really changing for the better around the whole world. So I personally think things are going to get a whole lot better. I really am optimistic about that. So thank you so much. Thank you for watching our video. And I got to throw my beautiful wife in the video. Christina, what do you have to say?
Subscribe.
Say it in Spanish. Hit the bell.
Pégale la campana.
See, that sounds powerful. Say it. Una más.
Pégale la campana. Hit the bell. And subscribe.
So this is my beautiful flight attendant wife. So we have a lot of cool ideas. Our ultimate goal is to live in Mexico in the winter and live here in the summer, and we plan on doing that. We got a couple of hurdles we got to jump through before we do that, but it's going to be sooner than later. So we hope to bring you a lot of Alaska videos. When we finally buy another airplane, we'll bring you a lot of flying videos, and we'll also have you a lot of Mexican videos to show because we love going to Mexico. I like it more than she does, believe it or not.
Yeah, he said, I don't know why you live in Alaska from Missouri. I'm from the south. Well, I don't know why we live in Alaska for Mexico.
She don't know why I would leave Alaska for Mexico.
That's right.
I like tortillas. That's why I'm fat. Actually, today's day one of keto for me.
Yeah, right. See.
Well, thank you so much for watching us. Last time I brought her in the video, I got a lot of people write me and say, hey, it was so cool meeting Christina and seeing her on the video. So I wanted to bring this bring this beautiful woman in. She's a flight attendant, so she's always good at smiling. And she's good at telling people to sit, do your whole thing for us.
Welcome on board.
That wasn't authentic, not at all.
Well.
I'm just joking. I put her on the spot. Well, thank you so much for watching. And hey, I'm gonna end with some beautiful pictures that I took in the last couple of weeks from the flight deck. So watch it, see what you think. All right, thank you so much.
Bye.
Estamos en contacto. No, I'm just kidding. Hasta luego, friends.